Welcome to my channel, Ortiz Apple Tree. We're here to ask Spirit to show you what you need to see in regards to your person. Who's on your mind, who's in your heart, who's around you, who's coming towards you. The person you're here to know about during this reading, that's the person. We want that energy. Spirit, show us what we need to see for Taurus person. How are they feeling? What are they hiding? Okay, so far we have a Knight of Wands, a possible Sagittarius fire sign. Doesn't have to be, could be Leo or Aries. Then we have the Two of Wands in reverse. And if you can see here, there's Three of Wands. This person could be deciding to stay put. Maybe they don't want to travel. They're deciding to stay put somewhere that's safe. This is someone who is deciding not to cheat. Maybe they're deciding to stay put with you is better than what's out there. They don't know what's out there. I mean, the Three of Wands is here. So at one point, this person could have been contemplating traveling. Maybe this is someone who wants to travel for work, and maybe they're getting news that they're not traveling for work. They're not being able to move or relocate, or for some of you this could just be a disappointment with this person. Maybe there's some type of a disappointment with the choices that they're making. For some of you it could be a long distance relationship and it's not working out. So for some of you it could be let me see here. Yeah, this could be an ending, breaking up with this person, a failed long distance relationship. For some of you, could definitely be a fire sign or someone that just didn't foresee this coming. We started off with the Knight of Wands. This could be somebody that's really passionate at one point, that was really in your life. Someone who came to visit you. I don't know if this is someone who could be military, but this is someone who would come and sweep you off your feet and take you on dates and go out with you and have a romantic, passionate romance, like a connection. Maybe they traveled to see you. This could be an energy where this is someone who is just very attractive and self-assured, and you could have met this person during work, and like I said, maybe you moved or somebody could have relocated. With the Two of Wands in reverse is definitely choosing the safest bet and not making a decision to branch out or to move or something like that. It's a fear of the unknown. Is this going to work out or not? And maybe the connection is becoming very boring. Maybe it's becoming very mundane, and you're staying together because you see it's the safest bet. So if you're with somebody, there's an ending here. It could be a decide to separate, a decide to break up, divorce. Some of you, this could be a Scorpio. And it's a choice between staying single, getting back with an ex possibly, or staying in a connection that, are you going to stay put? Are you going to move? Are you going to travel? This could lead to a breakup. This could lead to being withdrawn and detached. Or it could lead to, someone who just, it's a choice. It's a choice that needs to be made. And I feel like for some of you, it could be a choice between two lovers and this person, or, deciding to stay put. We have Four of Wands total here. Four of Wands. So this could be a home. This could be a marriage. This could be the state of a connection that, it was a happy family, and now it could be dysfunction there. With most of the wands, Three of the Wands in reverse. It could be an unhappy family now, or a canceled reunion, or a canceled someone possibly wanting to leave home, or someone just feeling like they just don't fit, or someone just feeling like there's a lot of self-doubt. Why is all this happening? Someone, may have to be uprooted. I don't know if they're getting orders overseas, or they're not wanting to go overseas because they feel like their relationship will fail if there's a lot of distance. So there's something canceled or postponed, or someone's just not seeing eye to eye on making a choice. Taurus, if you've been hoping for a reunion with the past love, that reunion could be canceled or postponed. And then, of course, the Death. So there's a change here, whether someone wants it to be or not. There's an ending here, whether someone wants it to be or not. And, endings sometimes can be very painful because it's a time of change. It's a time of letting go. It's a time of, sometimes it's just something has run its course. And by clinging on to old patterns, it could stop a connection from growing and moving forward. So when the Death shows up, you know, there's an energy here where a person might want this to be over. They might actually want this to be over and just don't know how to. Maybe they are not suited to go through such a painful divorce situation. So relationship counseling, I really feel would be beneficial, especially if the both of you are willing to embrace a transformation for this relationship to survive, because you love each other rather than just fear of not being in a relationship. But this could be an unexpected change, like, you know, an ending. So it needs to be some type of transformation to bring a new lease of love. I just feel like it started off passionate. It started off with action. With that Knight of Wands, it started off with a connection. And this could be a fire sign that just needed to make a choice and they were unable to make a choice. Or maybe they just decided maybe they had a fear of change. They had a fear of the unknown. You know, this is someone who made a choice. And with that King of Wands, you know, it's someone who knows that this could end a connection if they decide to do something that maybe the two of you didn't agree on. You know, I feel like with this King of Wands in reverse, it's kind of giving like a womanizer or someone who takes advantage or someone who manipulates. It's an energy where someone who has a commitment phobe, someone who still is not done playing the field, someone who's not ready to level up to commitment, someone who is a flake, they break promises. You know, this is someone who rather sit on the sidelines and let things fall into their lap instead of put effort and work hard for what they want. So I feel like for some of you, you could have been dealing with someone that was like this, where, you know, if this could be someone who just doesn't want their freedom restrained for some reason. This could be someone who has like a jealous streak. But I do feel like with that death energy, definitely it's a change. What is this death card representing here for Taurus person? I don't know if the two of you broke up. This person may want to apologize if they did something wrong. If the apology is intimate, then you could become pregnant. But this is someone who may want to apologize, and they're just giving it time with the Seven of Pentacles. And here we go again with the Four of Wands, and this time it's upright. This is someone who may decide to stay instead of divorce. Maybe they've thought about it, contemplated it, but the best bet is to stay. And, you know, we do have the Four of Wands that's upright here. We have Four of Wands over here with mostly in reverse. But when it's upright, it's someone who is trying to show support and stability and laying down, you know, success in the roots, and someone who wants to come together, someone who wants this to work, someone who wants to fit in. They want a reunion. They want you back in their life, or they want you to stay in their life. So this is someone who's willing to put in the effort to see what happens. With the Seven of Pentacles, you know, before the Seven, it's the Six of Pentacles. It's all about giving and receiving, strength to strength, not one-sided. And so this person, if they apologize, or if you apologize, they're going to just see if time will tell. If time will tell where the two of you stand. This is someone who is willing to put in the effort, but they want to see the benefits. They want to see it soon. This is someone who may, you know, say, you know what, we're going to stay because there's a baby on the way. Someone you could be pregnant again, and they decide, okay, I don't know if you're 7 months or 3 months or 2 months pregnant or 7 months, but this is someone who may want to buy a house. You know, they may want to pay for a wedding. They may want to save up their money for that. You know what I mean? So it's time for this person to mature. It's time for this person to reflect on past and get a better sense of what they really want in the future. And I feel like, Taurus, this is what your person is capable of manifesting if they want. So being patient with this person is what's required. And this person will come through. They will buy that house. They will have the stability and the consistency. They will manifest. You know, good things come to those who wait. You know, but why? Let's see what their emotions are. Let's see what their emotions are. Taurus person's true emotions. Taurus person, but this person does care about you. Taurus person's true emotions. What is Taurus? Okay. Sex addiction. They just want more sex. They may have a high sex drive. Maybe the two of you have a different sex drive. You know, maybe you're like, well, you told me you would buy me a house. You would, you know, but if this person's hypersexual, they want more. You know, and if you're pregnant, you may not be able to put out like that more. I don't know. What's the sex addiction? Okay, so this person's hyperly sexual. Excessive sexual thoughts. They love you. They love the sex with you. They love you. They love you. So as long as you do what you have to do, Taurus, you put out, this person will give you a ring and follow through with the marriage. And they love sex with you. That's what's keeping them there. Like, the sex with you is what has them loving you and wanting to marry you in the first place. They're addicted to you. They have desires to be with you, urges to be with you. And so you know, I mean, come on now, that's nice, right? Someone who wants you. Why is this King of Wands in reverse in this death energy here? I just feel like they want to take charge and have action, but they want you to also not become psycho or crazy or obsessed, or, you know, like self-doubt causing you to like go through their phone, accuse them of things, stalk them. They don't want that. They don't want that type of behavior. They want the sexy energy of being in control, knowing what you want. They don't want you too clingy. They don't want you too needy. That turns them off. They're attracted to women or men who are independent and strong, and maybe that's also what attracted them to you, is that you're independent, you're strong. So they don't want freedom restricted with this psycho energy. They don't want that. Other than that, the two of you can get along. It's all about having trust. And one more energy for, okay, so they don't want you to turn your back on them again. I don't know if you turned your back on them before and left. They're a fear of you leaving. They don't want that either. That's psycho energy. But they love you, and they just want to be passionate with you, and maybe over time you can have another baby, or you can have a child and get married and all of that stuff. See, they don't want this to end. Funeral came out in reverse. They contemplated it, but they're like, nah, I'm going to decide to stay. This is the safest bet with Taurus. This person just doesn't want you psycho and trying to control them and stuff like that, but they're deciding they don't want this to end. You know, it doesn't have to be an ending just for you to go through a transformation. It doesn't have to be a divorce. It doesn't have to lead to something like that. Now, they're not resisting change. They want change for the better, but they don't want to hold on to a relationship that's run its course either. They don't want to be dependent on a partner. This is someone who is also terrified of loneliness. They're also scared of having to start over again. They just want more sex from you. They just don't want the psycho energy from you. And maybe you're thinking, nah, it's reversed. Maybe this person stalking you and obsessed with you. Okay? But it's in a good way, because they love you and they're addicted to you. Okay? So take time to figure out what needs to change in order to get to a place where the relationship is stable, solid, and it's confident. No self-sabotaging behaviors. You know, and everyone treating each other with love and respect. So, you know, you don't want to stay with a partner who you no longer love out of a sense of obligation either. But if something is finished long ago, you know, it's still energy here that could resurface and you could rekindle the love. Just as long as you let go of like negative behavior patterns, bring that positive energy back in, you know, I feel like this person wants to hold on to you, though. All right, with that being said, like, comment, share, and subscribe here at Ortiz Appletree, Taurus. This is very general, so receive what resonates and leave what does not. And until next time, Taurus, take care.